this today. Okay. The shop. It was a small, sleepy farm town. A few trucks glided down the streets. A few humans sat on porches. A few stories lined the main square. Rambler parked in front of a bright white building. Then Mr. Sharif left the children with Roz, and he limped inside. "Welcome to the tech lab shop," said a woman in a white suit. "My name's Nadine. How may I help you?" Mr. Sharif was distracted by all the robots on display in the shop. They came in a dazzling variety of designs and sizes and colors. Standing still, eyes glowing, they calmly waited for someone to put them to work. When the man spotted a Rosam unit, he suddenly remembered why he was there. "I'm the owner of Hilltop Farm," he said, "and we had just been hit by a tornado." "I heard the siren," said Nadine. "Is everyone okay?" "My family's okay, but I've got a Rosam unit outside who's in really bad shape." The woman called over her shoulder, "Patch, bring the Rosam repair kit." The robot marched into the room carrying a large case. He looked similar to a Rosam robot, but he was shorter and wider. The word "patch" was lightly etched across his tummy, his torso. Here, I'm gonna let Hendrix in. The word "patch" was lightly etched on his torso. Mr. Sharif led Nadine and Patch out to the truck where the children were chatting with their robotic friend. Patch quickly scanned Roz's broken body, and announced the cost of the repairs. The man stroked his chin, mulling over his options until the children blurted out, "Just fix her!" Mr. Sharif nodded and Patch sprang into action. With smooth, precise movements, the robot gently placed Roz on the ground. Then he grasped the broken arm and her broken leg and twisted. There was a flip sound as each limb popped loose. Then he took new limbs from a case and popped them into place. In a matter of seconds, Roz was whole and back on her feet. "Robots never cease to amaze me," said Mr. Sharif, admiring Roz's shiny new limbs. "The makers really outdid themselves with these Rosam units," said Nadine. "However, you have our most basic unit. Would you like to upgrade her software or adjust her settings or polish out these scratches? Will that cost extra?" Ooh, do we want him to do that, you guys? What if he upgraded Roz? What would happen? What would happen, he?
He would be amazing.
It would not. What would happen? Who could say?
Mrs. Child.
Caroline, what would happen? Do you know?
She would lose her memory.
Yeah,
She'd
lose her memory.
Right.
Like Bright Bill.
Right. She would lose her memory. It would be horrible. Thank you for participating.
Plus Roz promised that she would get back to Bright Bill.
Yes, I know. And we can't.
Mrs.
If she gets up, nope, Fiona, we're in the middle of this right now. However, you have will that cost extra? Nadine smiled. "I'm afraid so." "This basic unit is fine," said Mr. Sharif, "but I need to order a work crew. Could you send a work crew over to fix up my farm?" "Not a problem," said Nadine. "I'll send a crew over immediately." Okay, this is chapter 29. It's called The Aftermath. Who knows what aftermath means? Who could say? Riley, what does aftermath mean?
It means after what was just going on a couple hours ago or something.
Yeah, and so it will mean like, what is the damage that got done when that tornado happened? It's after that, right? Hilltop Farm was hardly recognizable. Buildings were flattened. Remember the milking parlor where all the cows were? The roof got ripped off. Buildings were flattened, equipment was missing, debris was everywhere. The farm had no electricity and the computer system was down. As Roz picked her way through the rubble, she realized she was off the grid. What does that mean? What does that mean? Does that...
She can escape.
She could escape, right? Because Mr. Sharif can't track her anymore. Thanks, Heath. She was off the grid. Was this the moment for her escape? No, Roz could not leave the Sharifs. Not like this. Instead, she did what she could to help. The tornado had left behind a winding trail of destruction. Thankfully, it hadn't destroyed everything. The barn was leaning to one side, but it was still standing. Roz forced open the door and found the cows nervously bunched together in the corner. You are all safe now, said Roz in her calmest voice. How is everyone feeling? The robot was answered by a chorus of moos. How do you think we feel? I'm a nervous wreck. My whole life flashed before my eyes. The robot raised her hands to quiet the crowd. I am afraid the tornado destroyed much of the farm, including the milking parlor. The cows gasped. But my udders are about to burst. They need to be milked, right? Cried Tess. Would you like me to milk you the old-fashioned way, said Roz. One looked at Roz's clampy mechanical hands, and Tess shook her head, no thanks, I can wait. An emergency crew is on its way, Roz explained, but we cannot be in here while they work. Please follow me. Roz carefully led the herd outside through the wreckage and down to the pasture. Some of the fences were missing and the herding machine was broken, but the cows promised not to wander off and they began grazing on wind-blown grass. 3 massive trucks rumbled up the driveway. Doors swung open and a crew of robots workers climbed out. The lead robot checked in with Roz. The lead robot checked in with Roz as the others began unloading supplies from the trucks. Then the crew got down to business. Here's the crew. They're marching onto the farm. Do you see them? Then the crew got down to business. Power tools buzzed, debris was cleared, fences were mended, holes were dug, machines were repaired or replaced, beams and walls and roofs went up, equipment and pipes and wire were installed. Clearly, these robots were designed to work as a team.
This is Hendrix.
Yeah, hi, Hendrix.
Finn is gonna have
okay, Hendrix, you can tell me that later. Right now, I'm in the middle of reading this book, okay? Can you listen to it? And then you can tell me about your play date later. Okay, you got it, buddy? You good with that? Thanks, Hendrix. Okay, after we get done, you can talk about that. Thanks, thank you. Okay, the Sharifs wandered out and back and stood with Roz. They watched as their farm was rebuilt before their very eyes. Several crew members marched over to the house, fixed a hole in the roof, and replaced the shattered windows. Finally, rubble and tools were loaded into the trucks, and the robots fell in line. Are you satisfied with our work? Said the crew leader. I am satisfied, said Roz. At those words, the robots climbed back into their trucks and drove away. Hours after it had been devastated by a tornado, Hilltop Farms was rebuilt better than ever. Chapter 30, The Gift. The children walked into the machine shed, past rows of parked farm machines, and found Roz turning up the milk truck. We got you a gift, said Jad, smiling. What? Roz got a present? The robot felt something like surprise when the boy handed her a box wrapped in silver paper and a big red bow on top. Can you guess what it is? Said Jaya. Roz started guessing. A bucket, a rock, a hammer, a turtle, and Okay, you can stop guessing, said Jaya. Don't forget to read the card, said Jad. Nestled under the bow was a little card. Roz opened it and read the following words. They were written in Jaya's handwriting. Dear Roz, thank you for taking such good care of our farm and our family. We spent all our savings on this gift, so you better like it. Love, Jaya and Jad. P.S. Please tell us more stories about the robot on the island as soon as possible. Thank you for the nice card, said Roz, although the handwriting could use some improvement. Jad rolled his eyes. Open your gift. The robot untied the bow and tore off the paper and lifted the lid from the box. I remember this. Do you, Dee? And do you, Riley? Do you remember this?
Don't spoil it.
I won't. Sophie, do you remember? Okay, inside was a tool belt. It was made of dark leather and had a wide strap and different sized pockets for holding different kinds of tools. Sorry, I had to turn the lights on. For holding different kinds of tools. We thought that this might make your work a little easier, said Jaya. It's designed specifically for Rosm robots, said Jad, so it should fit perfectly. The children helped Roz put on the new tool belt. Rather than going around the robot's waist like a normal belt, it went diagonally around the torso. Jad looped it over Roz's left shoulder and down around her right hip. Jaya laced the strap through the buckles and tightened it until the tool belt was snug and secure around her chest. Here it is. Do you guys see it?
I remember this so much, but I can't spoil it.
Don't spoil it. Was that you, Charlie? Oh, that was you, Riley?
She
No.
looks,
That was that you, Charlie?
that was Sophie.
Oh, that was Sophie.
Looks like, she kind of looks like a robotic Chewbacca from Star Wars.
Uh-huh, kind of.
She looks like a.
Do you like it? Said Jaya. I like it very much. Thank you for the lovely gift. The children smiled and hugged the robot. They really seemed to care about her. Roz wondered if they cared enough to help her escape from the farm. One of these days, she would have to risk everything and tell them the truth. For now, however, she did the next best thing. She led Jaya and Jad out to the oak tree and told them another story about the robot on the island. Okay, and we'll hear that story tomorrow. The next chapter is called The Campfire.
Oh, I remember now.
Yeah,
What's the next chapter called again?
The Campfire.